Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we made some plans for our going green prison, and it's alright. I'm fairly happy with the design, although there are some changes to be made which I'll implement in but a moment. However, we've got most of the things that we need in the facility, and it's a bit different from the other things that we've made. So as I said, there's been a couple of changes mentioned and taken from the comments section. Now, we have firstly the north and the south parts of the facility, where the original idea was to have this perimeter wall around the outside with a fairly big gap, which not only stops contraband being thrown in, it also stops prisoners doing a blitz attempt over the wall, so making ropes and climbing over, because ideally this wall on the outside will be a perimeter wall. However, that's very, very expensive, although I'm also looking at the 193,000 that we're currently sitting on. Either way, I wasn't too sure whether we were going to keep the design like it is or maybe expand it to something like this size. I'm going to go back and go with the original wall design for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it is more secure, not just in terms of contraband, but also it's stopping prisoners just jumping over one fence and then out. This means they have to go over two fences, so that's pretty good. Secondly, by all accounts, the farms can be quite a performance hog and read very, very laggy. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. We obviously can delete this wall and move it around and such. This is not set in stone. We can change these, but having an area of probably 19 by 90, I think it is. Yeah, 19 by 92 is more than enough, I think, for the farms that we want at the moment. And obviously we can expand and do that. And if we do find that this performance hits, then, you know, at least we've made the right decision. If not, we can expand it. And thirdly, it means that we can, if we wanted to, place our solar panels and such and all of the sort of going green stuff in this area around the outside, which basically means that we'll have a green prison, not from the get-go, because I think I still wanted to make a power station, but at least we can have a look at something like that, and we've got the room there. So that's the reasons why I'm going to go back to the original idea. As I said, nothing is really set in stone until we actually set it in stone and place foundations, but there you are. Secondly, there has been some discussion regarding these cells, and people have said that they like the design, but they would much prefer dormitories. That's the overall theme of the comments, so we're going to go with dormitories with bunk beds in them. That means, however, that we are then doubling the amount of prisoners that we have in here, so this is going to be quite a large facility. So I may remove maybe the central one and have that as a big yard. I haven't yet decided. We'll see how many prisoners we get off each of these. So it's a lot. It's a lot of prisoners, and more than I think that these yards can account for, but there you are. Thirdly, people are not happy that you have to go through the morgue in order to get to the the infirmary, so that's fair point, well made. Let me place some doors there, and I think that would be about right. I think I'm also going to place a door there and a door there, just to allow access to the outside, and there we go. So we can have, yeah, people coming either into the infirmary here, or they'll have to go through the morgue. I don't like the idea of having to go into the morgue and then bringing the bodies out around here. That's just not something we want to really focus on. I think that's the main changes that I want to make and what was mentioned. Let me just go over to sell object, and I'm just going to go around and sell a lot of these trees, because some of them are just still sitting here. There's seems to be a weird, I wouldn't say a bug, but you notice that a lot of these are not sold, a lot of these bits of wood and such, so I'm just going to go around and make sure that that's all sorted, and I think that is about right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is pretty much working now. Let me go over to rooms, and we want to have deliveries, which will be placed at the north of the entranceway, which will be a 12 by 4. We're going to go for garbage and have that the same down the bottom there. It's going to be a 12 by 4, and then exports, which will be also a similar thing, which will be 12 by 4, and then I'm going to delete all of those, and then have probably in rooms storage. Let's have a look. Storage is going to go there, and then yards. I'm just placing these while I remember. Yard is in there, and then also down the bottom, and there's also a log that I've missed, but let's just place the yard in like so, and then we will sell this object, and there we go. Right, so then moving things away from where we're going to be building, and this is where we need to crack on with building. So How do we do that? Oh yes, mouse movie, clicky clicky, draggy draggy. So let's go over to walls and doors, over to our walls here, and we have this main wall around the outside, which ideally I would love to use a perimeter wall. However, how expensive would that be? That would be, oh, only 15 grand. Well, I've got 200,000, so let's spend an absolutely ridiculous amount of money building a perimeter wall. That has been 60 grand of wall. That is unprecedented. I've never spent that amount of money at this stage of the game just placing in a wall, but I think it is spent in the right place. Perimeter wall, obviously the most secure wall in the game, not only for people trying to go over, but also tunneling underneath. If we wanted to, we can also place some barbed wire on the top. I think it is secure enough. In terms of the walls then, if we go to foundation and then to more, we've got many options we could go for this prison, and I don't want it to be... You've got things like the garden wall and the bottle wall and the reclaimed wood wall. I don't like the garden wall. I think that's a bit too far removed from the theme of the game. Well, I guess the theme is, you know, gardens and stuff like that. But in terms of it being a correctional facility, garden wall, maybe not for the outside of this. I am drawn towards the reclaimed wood wall, though, and have this as like a wooden walled prison. I'm just checking the differences in price. There are not many differences, I don't think. Let's just check actual walls and doors. And the brick wall is 50 and the wood wall is 40. So it just says wooden walls created by reusing old materials. Again, if I use that, what I'm very aware of is that it would look very, like, say, camp-ish. And I don't want to go down the hole. It looks a bit sort of internment camp type, prisoner of war camp look. I don't like that idea, but it might look alright in limited areas. Like, for example, maybe have the front of house here, all of that as brick, and then anything internal we could have as potentially the wooden wall like these here, but then again it's looking like... I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to place a row of that there. That's a grand to make that bit of wall. Let me just focus on the building of that. I've just said, yeah, build it as a priority. Let's see what it looks like. If it looks all right, we may go with it. And you know what? I do quite like the look of it, to be honest. Sack it. It's different. It's something we haven't used. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. So, do we want that for the rest of it? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. For the external wall here, maybe we use the concrete, and then everything else is wood? Or do we want this as wood? Let's try with more reclaimed wood wall. And I'm going to build, if I just pause it for a moment, that, and that. Because all of that is needed at this stage. Walls and doors. We're going to have a large jail door on the front there. That should get that up and running. And we'll see what that looks like. I know I sacked a lot of workers previously, so I don't really want to fire. I don't really want to do any more hiring or firing. To be fair, the majority of the money is being spent on this wall around the outside, and to be fair, they're getting there, so that's fine. We don't need to build any more. I'm very well aware we've almost spent 100,000, and we haven't even got any of the administration centre or basic detention centre grant done yet, but we'll see what this looks like. If it doesn't work, then I'll just cancel the series there, to be honest. I'll just redo the walls or something, because all the foundation is going to be needed anyway. I know there's a couple of people mentioning about the walls around the outside, maybe, and the buildings here. Maybe they're saying maybe shrink this by 1, and then you can get the buildings a bit bigger. That's correct. We can, if we need to. Then that's exactly what we'll do. Also, a lot of suggestions regarding things like this building down the back here, extending it to the edge, which I've not done. I like the idea of being able to walk right round it for staff purposes, and splitting this up into multiple buildings, which obviously we were going to do in the first place, but I should obviously point that out now. So we're going to have most likely 16 by 16 like that, and that'll be our probably common rooms either side, and then I do want some solitary, which we'll probably put like a couple of solitaries in and around here. The solitaries, I think I'm going to make them a little bit larger than we usually do. This is not something that I've really thought too much about, but perhaps something like that, and then we'll have the same on the other side and then mirrored. Again, I'll see how it goes, and I don't mind the look of that. Yeah, that's okay. I have got auto light on, which I probably should have turned off, but there you are, too late now. Let's have another large steel door on the back there, just to make sure they can actually get out of this area. Although, to be fair, well, there's already this slight gap in the northeast of the prison anyway, so they probably don't have any great issue moving around. So this is our outside bit here. What I'm concerned with is if I zoom in here, what we'll have is all of these wooden rooms and such. And for flooring, I'm going to use the dock wooden and probably the reclaimed brick. I like the reclaimed brick for the outside. So maybe this is one of the first prisons that we're not going to use concrete tiles. But when we look at the outside, we've got this huge concrete wall, and then it's just going to go to wood, so it's going to look a bit weak in terms of security, thinking. So you've got this very, very high, very substantial concrete wall with fencing and huge foundations, and then literally a couple of tiles to the right, we've got reclaimed wood wall where you can probably smash through it using your face. I understand what. I understand, yeah. Whether or not we alter that, I don't know. Let's just see what it looks like when it connects up to here. This is where the rubber meets the road, as it were, and we'll find out what it looks like. It looks exactly as I thought. It looks garbage. Right, so that's a problem. We need to resolve that. If I was to, for example, use concrete, let me just place a bit of concrete wall along there and see what that looks like. Concrete wall being 50 per square and reclaim being 40 a square. Let's see what that looks like. I think that'll look better, and if we have just the outside completely made of that and everything else wood, I don't think that will be too much of a problem. Let's just see what it looks like. I mean, it is dark, so we can hardly see anything here. But all the workers coming along, moving stuff, replacing it. And then, ironically, place the one bit that I want them to do, so I see where it joins they haven't done. That is better, but not ideal. I'm just going to go with it's better. It is better. So I'm going to run the wall along. Same up here, because all of this is going to be concrete anyway. So we're going to run it to there. And then that should be these yards secure, so we then have a legitimate internal bit. I'm going to have doors, visitor double doors there, and then staff double doors there. And I want to have walls reclaimed along there. And let's just start placing in. I don't need to do most of that, actually, now that I think about it. Let me just build these offices here. We'll build the offices, because then we can start doing things like the administration centre, grants and such. So there we go. So search for office, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's the offices. At least the designation of the offices, if not the furniture, which we're doing now. And we've now got office chairs as well, which is introduced in a previous patch. And I've missed a wall out by the look of it. And reclaim wood wall. I don't actually mind the concrete external bit. That seems to work. Alright, there's our officers. Let's hire our warden. There we go. We have to unlock finance the bureaucracy, which we will do. I'll also go for maintenance, health, security, prison policy, the lot, basically. I haven't actually got prison policy, but I'll get that. And there we are. So that's now in. We have a yard. The yards are now saying that they are legitimate, so this is good. We need to have holding cells, showers, kitchens, canteens, all of that good stuff. Let's acknowledge that and then build none of it by building a reception, because it's at the front of house and we should probably get that built in like so. So reception requires all manner of things, so let's get the chair put in. So we'll put a chair in here. We'll place an office desk in the center as well, and then we have to have tables that go along the outside, and that should be it. Also, I think we're going to place some chairs in like that, and that should be sufficient. Also, heating. Yeah, heating, the thing I will constantly forget. Don't worry, it's not the first time, it won't be the last. So that's now in there. We'll have to place some radiators, but I'll work on that as we progress on. Where can I place radiators, in fact? Probably a one there and a one there, and then have it extended and along, something like that, I would imagine. We'll have to see. Although, maybe I can place them outside. That's one of the things that I forgot to mention as well. In terms of the ways in and out of the farming areas, because there's a huge amount of contraband. I mean, it can't be smuggled over the wall or thrown over the wall, but it can be nicked from the farms. We do need to search people. So we will most likely have areas over here, like that, where we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a rough idea, where we'll have 2 checkpoints going in and 2 checkpoints going out. I don't think we need the checkpoints going in, actually. We could probably do away with those and just have like a one-way system using the deployment. But if we search people going in and search people going out, we're being very, very thorough. But I think it's a little bit overkill. But we'll see, as always, how we get on there. So we now have the ability to hire an accountant, I believe. Yes, we do. I'm going to get an extra grant and a bank loan, and probably that's about it. Prison labour, cleaning, groundskeeping, just get the lot, because we're going to need them anywhere for grants. So we will hire a accountant, so there we go, and that's give us a grant there. They're going to research a lot of the stuff that I've set going there. In terms of grant, we've got a short and long-term investment. I'm going to pick up the long-term investment first because, well, it takes the longest, and then once we've got that extra grant done, which is pretty soon anyway, or 10 hours for the extra bank loan, we'll get that. I'm going to hire a foreman, there we go, and that can research some other stuff as well. In terms of the going green part of this, we have, where is it, green energy. So we've got wind, solar wind turbines, solar-powered wind turbines. I don't think it means solar-powered wind turbines, surely. Surely a wind turbine is powered by the wind. Only solar panels will be available initially, yes, because we need, where is it? Farming. Is that right? Farming is there. Recycling initiative. Not there. Where is it? Forestry, farming, small cells, permanent punishments. Not too sure where it is in here. Recycling initiative, offshore tax savings. Not seeing it. Anyway, we'll be able to get some wind turbines later on, but I'm thinking maybe, do we place solar panels in now? Probably not, because that means that we are then relying on the sun, and it ain't always sunny, particularly at night. Anyway, we should have another grant. No, we don't. Where are we at? We are on, very, very shortly, 50 seconds remaining there. Okay, so we have a storage area. Let's go to walls, and we're going to place our reclaimed wood wall all the way across here. Obviously, a lot of this will remove the doors, which is a shame, but there you are. And along here, and then this is going to be our power room. So, like I said, I'm going to go with power stations with capacitors first, although why can't I place a capacitor? I can't place a capacitor at all. I'm guessing you have to place it next to that. I don't know if that's new, but let's place the water pump down there. We also need a water boiler, which I'll place next to it. Do I need a water boiler down here? Depends where we're going to have our other water boiler. If I have a water boiler either side of this, we probably won't need it. Okay. I'll forgo placing it for now, because technically the staff don't have the heat need. Well, we don't have staff needs on, so they don't have this need for warmth. We now have... I thought that ding-a-ling was... Oh, we're going for bank loan rather than extra grant. Okay, even though I clicked on the one first. No dramas, no dramas. Capacitors, yeah, you can place them around the outside now. So let's run some electrical cable in and around here. I will possibly get away with running it like that. And then up here. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to place some metal detectors in there, just so we know we've placed them. And that'll light this up and make it look a lot better. In terms of flooring, do I want to place it in now? I've got 80 grand, but I'm very aware I'm spending a lot of money very quickly. We've got the dock, wooden, and then we've got the wooden floor. I'm tempted to go with the... Oh, I can only place it on the outside. Outdoor only. Ah, well that mixes things up just a little bit, doesn't it? I can use brick internally. That's going to look fairly poor, isn't it? I would think. I don't want to spend 2 grand there. What's the walk speed? Normal. Okay. Having the brick inside just doesn't make much sense. I'll do a line down here and see what it looks like. Don't truly hate it. Let's try in here. I actually quite like it. What if it was just all the way across there? Two grand for that. Yeah, it's alright. I don't mind that. I do not mind that at all. So is that what we're going to go with? Everything being that? Even outside? Well, that's going to be concrete tiles. Perhaps. Just seems a bit strange that when we go outside, we then use this like dark wood. See what it looks like when it matches up. No, don't think it works. But does the reclaimed brick work on the outside? Yes, it does. So everything's going to be that. That's going to look very samey. I'm not going to put the reclaimed brick in the rooms. So these rooms here will become wooden floor. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to spend money very early on flooring, so I don't really mind. I know we're wasting a lot of cash, but I say it's the first time we've really been in a situation to do something like this. Let me just go over to our doors here. And staff doors. Like that. Yeah, that looks much better. I like that. So the main rooms will be the wooden floor. So in here. But then walkways and areas of heavy traffic, shall we say, like the reception can be that. Alright, that's fine. So, grant-wise, we're going to go for a short-term investment. There we go. Increase our bank loan to 500 per day. That's going to then increase our credit rating, which means that if we go into some issues, well, oh, look at that. Green energy goals there. So yeah, we increase our credit rating, which means that we can have a safety net there. Green energy goals. Complete specific goals related to green energy to receive different rewards. Green energy goal 1. Purchase 3 solar panels. Rewards, unlock the wind turbine. Ah, okay. And then green energy goal 2 is unlock the solar/wind hybrid system. And then export 1,000 units of power. Power export cap is increased. And it's going to increase and increase. What's this? Green energy goal 6. Have 25 inmates successfully pass the solar panel development program, because you can make your own solar panels. Alright. See, the way it works, as far as I'm aware, we have transformers and batteries. Due to the properties of raw green energy, each new energy source must be connected to a transformer item via electrical cables before the power can be used for electrical appliances. The transformer itself does not only transforms raw green energy into a sustainable form of energy, but it can also charge any adjacent battery items. The energy stored within the battery items can be then used as emergency power, as well as a new export via the power export meter. Do I want to try and make a green prison from the get-go? Let's do a test, shall we? 1, 2. I don't need that gap. 1, 2, 3. Do you want to place them there, or have a little gap? I think I'll place the gap like that. And I will connect those to a... Well, that'll have to go to a transformer, won't it? So I'm going to have a transformer in here. Let's see what this looks like. And see how much this can power. It says adjacent batteries. And, oh, they are coming. Yeah. Oh, it's because we haven't got a door down here. Let me resolve that by putting a staff door there and a staff door there. So, power production has been negatively affected by the current weather. That's understandable. Let's go ahead and connect up this electrical cable like so. And there we are. Can we then place the panels behind? I think those will then connect up to that. And then batteries, which can go along the outside, yes. And then you've also got a power export meter, which goes in there. I don't know if you have to physically connect it up like that. Let's try all of this. So they're not charging up at all, are they? But go on a quick connect. The batteries are connected, are they? Oh yeah, they are slowly charging. See that? They are currently charging. So if I was to put maybe some wind turbines in, which realistically I could get a couple in, couldn't I? I don't know if I want to leave a bit more of a gap than that. It seems a bit off to not. Yeah, that's about right, I think. So I'm leaving a gap of 1 between the wind turbines and the panels. But they're all connecting up, like so. And that should still be on the same grid. And I wonder if this grid can blow like the other one, if there's like a big drama there. Right, so I wonder how much power. It says power production is, at the moment, 150 units. This power plant is 71 units. Okay, so this can actually power our prison at the moment. What I'm going to do is do a bit of rewiring. I'm going to dismantle that, although historically dismantling a water pump breaks it. But let's see what happens there. Place it in here. And I'm going to run this cable across. And to... Oh, that's not going to work. Cancel. Oh, cancel. Let's see. How are we going to do this? come along to there. And then that. This one could come down to there. And there. And I want to dismantle that. And then put a switch in here. And if I put it there, it'll look a lot better as well. In there. And I will off. So now what I've done is set it up so we have the power switch. We can switch it from green energy to from green energy to power plant energy. So we can build a power plant, and if there's any problems with the green energy, we can switch it over. Okay, happy with that. That's this is after all a prototype, so I'm not concerned if this doesn't work. I do need to shift a couple of things around, particularly the water pump needs to be connected up and things like that. But overall, pretty happy with everything there. Oh yeah, we're getting some financial compensation. See that? Because we're exporting some stuff. That's good. Right, I didn't expect to build this, but we've got it in place, so that seems to be working. Right, so not too bad at all. We have managed to get the grant done for administration centre. We have an extra 3 grand. Well, we've got 3 grants now. Short-term investment, long-term investment, and the basic detention centre. We have a wall around the outside, so it is fairly secure. And we've begun to work on green energy, which means actually we're even charging the battery. So we're exporting energy, getting more money there, and just powering the entire thing with just simply green energy. So we're going green from the very beginning. So that's something I'm very happy about, and also genuinely surprised. Either way, we're going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. If you have any suggestions for changes, then by all means, let me know. Unlike the very first couple of episodes, this isn't as reactive as that because I can't jump on every single comment because of bulk recording now and again. So basically, yeah, if I don't miss 1 or 2 episodes and then get to it, then please understand that's how it works. Either way, hope you have enjoyed this episode and for what it is, this series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.